Bright brings them back to speed. Down the front straightaway. Green back in the air for the Midgets. The Lucas Oil Southern States Midgets here at Screven Motorsports Complex. On the jump, it's Alex Bright. Oh, we got one smoking down the back straightaway in the 3 as Bright brings them. Oh, there's definitely, that's not a vapor trail. You know that something's wrong there, Scott Stein. Problems on the number 21 machine of Kurt Mayhew. Damani, Indiana's Kurt Mayhew with a problem. In turn 1 and 2, he's going to stall it. And they're going to throw caution. And the caution's going to come out. Damani, Indiana's Kurt Mayhew has stalled in 1 and 2. We saw a big plum of smoke come from the back end of that car. That's not a vapor trail, Scott
That
Stein.
is not. That is the sound of hard parts grinding together. And Kurt Mayhew out of DeMotte, Indiana. That's up my neck of the woods. He actually runs up into Wisconsin, goes around Chicago, runs the Badger series up in Wisconsin, some Power Eye stuff, things like that. Glad to see him down here. Of course, we've got snow and ice and all that mess up there, so he's probably going to take his time getting home. Nothing to hurry home to.
What did I say, DeMotte? It's a southern thing.
DeMotte. Yeah,
DeMotte, Indiana.
He knows where home is. It's where the mailbox is. He'll be happy to get back there.
DeMotte, Indiana's Kurt Mayhew. But last night he got on his roof, so at least he's only got some mechanical problems there now, but we'll work on getting him back behind the wall. We're back under caution. We are 1 lap to halfway, 25 laps. How about the legend Jack Hewitt being here, Scott Stein? That's pretty phenomenal.
Jack Hewitt's been an amazing guy to watch compete in racing and an ambassador of motorsports in general for a long time. Glad to have him down here tonight. I've run into Jack a number of times over the years. Always a jovial guy, happy to be around. But once that race suit comes on and that helmet goes in his hand, the look comes across his eye, and he is every bit the competitor that he always has been. And I'll tell you what, Jack Hewitt, one tough customer. If you get a chance to read the book, Hewitt's Law, pick it up and take a look.
And they're coming back for green. 1 lap to halfway. The Lucas Oil Southern States Midget Series here. Oh, front straightaway. Problems, number 3, getting sideways. Fishtailed, will he stall? It's the 33 of Ty Nevins from Titusville, Florida. Caution is out. He had contact, Scott Stein. He had some help. Somebody got into him on the restart out of 4. That is the 33 of, again, Ty Nevins from Titusville, Florida. And Wayne Davis is saying, go to the pits. You're parked. The infield, the pits, the parking. Uh-oh! Jason Dykes has got the black flag. Somebody's going to get the black linen. And they are black flagging the 33 now. Wayne Davis, race director, series founder of the Lucas Oil Southern States Midget Series, which was actually the brainchild where it started here. Scott Stein, what's your thoughts, man, of the new Lucas Oil Southeastern 410 9-wing sprint cars in the South? I think it's going to be something phenomenal once it builds. This is just, you're seeing the first growing pains and excitements of it this weekend at Screven.
Absolutely. I like the idea of the Lucas Oil Southwest non-wing sprint cars. Not having to carry that big wing around on top of the race cars puts a lot of life back into the engines. You don't have to run near as much engine. You don't have as much wear and tear on the hard parts inside that motor. Of course, everything else is dirt track racing par excellence. But being able to back these cars in, heard you and talking about it earlier, the way the cars back in the corners. We're used to seeing that up in Indiana, but It's really neat to come down here and watch them in the element down here in Georgia, slide around on these big racetrack surfaces. These guys know what they're doing. And these cars are running, the sprint cars are running 10, maybe 12 inches of stagger, the difference between the circumference of the left rear and the right rear tire. These things just go around. They cannot turn right to get out of their own way. They are built to go fast and turn left. And that's what you see in the Lucas Oil Southern States 410 Sprint Car Series. And it's going to be a big learning curve for some guys, but it's also going to be an opportunity for guys to jump out and do some non-wing sprint car racing right down here in the South.
You know, Tommy Tedder reiterated on, they were literally at the flag stand on the back straightaway, and they had already set their car to turn to go into the corner. Sideways before they got to 3.
Absolutely. That's how these cars are the happiest, is when they're sitting down on the bars. I was talking to Johnny Heidreich about that earlier tonight. Sitting down on the bars, down dug in on the suspension, like a 4-link late model. 4-link late models are happier when they're working, and that's exactly how the sprint cars work as well. Of course, 4 torsion bars in that suspension.
Back to green. The Midgets roar to the front straightaway. Back to Watt. Alex Bright on the jump. Pearson sits in that number 2 spot. Scott Hunter, I'm so proud of that young man from Mooresville. Watched him build up from the Ford Focus Midgets. He's the 3rd. And for 4th and 5th and 6th on back. Great race through the field, and we have just passed halfway. Halfway home now. 13 down and 12 to go. Alex Bright leads the way. Pearson in that number 2 spot as the field roars to the front straightaway. Whoop. Wow, Crowder. Oh, there's contact. Look out, Crowder. Oh, he's got into him, and there they go. They made contact, and they hooked up together. That is 2 Midgets collected. One's off the paces. Oh, my goodness. Is that Scott Hunter in turn number 4? No, it's not. We got one off the pace. It's stalled in the cushion in 4. And then we got these 2 that have hooked up. 2 Midgets have hooked together, Scott Stein.
I believe it's the black 77. Yes. We have a black 77, Robbie Smith, quite possibly down in turn 4. And, of course, the car is down in turn 1. Not going to be able to get a number on any of that equipment until they get separated from each other. Up close and personal. Down there by the concession stand.
Well, Scott, we watched those guys as they went into the corner. We just seen them just intersect and connect with each other. So we seen those 2 cars make contact and end up where they're at. But just turning and glancing is where we saw the 77 possibly of.
Looking at front suspension damage possibly on that race car.
And I understand they are saying the 8 car of Jim Young is being put to the tail for rough driving Scott Stein. Rough driving on Scott not
on me, on him.
Yeah, rough driving Scott Stein on Jim Young. That's what I was trying to say. Yep.
It's like you saw me going around Atlanta earlier today. Something I don't know.
Did you race in Atlanta today?
I admit nothing.
Did you go to the driving school at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Oh.
That's one of my stomping grounds, or one of the places I get to. Well, I guess I could say stomping grounds. That's first NASCAR track I got to announce that to get my foot in the door. Thank you to Ted Austed and Ed Clark and the people at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Shameless plug: the season does end tomorrow at Homestead, and the second race of the season is the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, so you can order your tickets. 1-800-455-FANS.
Watching the Camping World Truck Series last night.
How about Tyler Reddick winning the
Tyler
Xfinity?
Reddick winning tonight, sealing up the deal. I was going to mention Justin Haley last night coming down from Winnemac, Indiana. Had an excellent run with the GMS Racing all year long. Came up just a little bit short, but in true class and style, put out a very detailed statement regarding his time with GMS. Glad to see him go.
It's 11 laps to go. Coming back underway here. And they're going to wave off the start. We got a problem on the back straightaway. Maybe fired a little too soon, and we had another car come out to rejoin the race, actually. That's the 81.
A couple of restarts ago, we saw the 74M of Adam Pearson and the 12 of Alex Bright. Of course, your 2 cars in the front of the field. You saw Pearson throw a big slide job on Bright over there in turn 2. Bright was able to fend it off and go back to the point. Alex Bright looking to be the class of the field here tonight, but Pearson able to throw that move on him. You got to wonder, 14 laps in, 11 laps to go, running out of chances for restarts here. Eventually, we're going to get this thing green down to the checkered flag.
That's right.
Is Pearson going to be able to make the move when it matters?
And Pearson trying to sweep the weekend like we saw
in the 74.
Pennington do. in the fast track race. We're coming back to green. Oh, hold on! Boy, is that Hottie right? No, that was Reed Saloni. Reed Saloni about had contact on the restart. These cars just zigging, zagging, shooting, dicing, slicing. Oh, it's so crazy. Across the line, Bright leads them 10 to go. Back straight away. Alex Bright out in front. Pearson in the number 2 spot. Scott Hunter sits in third. In fourth, the 21 of Kurt Mayhew. Followed by the number 37 Machine. Making his way through the field of Andy Baugh from Mason City, Illinois. 9 to go. Bright looks strong. What has it got to take for Pearson to get around him? What has it got to take, Scott, for Pearson to get around that machine of Bright? Is it because he's running the top? At
this point, Bright's hitting his marks very, very well. Pearson closes in just a little bit. Now Bright slides up off of turn 2. That closes Pearson up a little bit. Now looks like he's got a sniff of him, but Bright opens it up a little bit now off of turn 4.
Slowly but surely, Pearson is closing in. Oh, we got trouble. Oh, my goodness. 2 cars involved. Crowder's involved in it. John Crowder, or the other Crowder machine. Now, that's either Eddie Moss Jr. in the 30X or John Crowder. We saw one Crowder car get involved in a tangle in 2 a moment ago. And I think that was Eddie Moss Jr. Now we've got John Crowder. His car is the one that's over there in turn number 1 and 2. Eddie Moss Jr. was involved in that first go-around.
Along with, I believe, the 8 car of Jim Young. And,
yes, sir.
You know, you got to think, those guys at the front of the field racing, absolutely dwelling on each other, and then all of a sudden having 2 stopped race cars sitting right there as they would go by it. Probably their racing line might have taken them above, but to be able to have the wherewithal to shut the car down quickly and avoid a catastrophe. Of course, these guys very, very good at what it is they do. But Alex Bright and Adam Pearson still at the front of the field. Third place looks to be the 1X car of Scott Hunter. Hunter watching this deal slowly waste away as laps ticking down. Let's look back through the field just a little bit more as they come down the start-finish line here. 19 laps on the board, 6 laps to go.
Yes, sir.
One lap to green at the flag stand. Looks like the 21 car. We have a Kurt Mayhew. We believe he's out. Who's the other 21 car that we have?
Lost your mind.
Check 2. Yep. Is this on?
There you go. Lost your mic there for a minute.
Lost my mind. What? Back to green.
Back underway. Final 6 laps. 6 laps, 25. Alex Bright got a good jump on the restart. That's for sure. Great jump on the restart for Alex Bright in 12 as he goes to 3 and 4. 5 to go at the line. Go ahead. Is that Crowder? I think it's Crowder back out there. Yes, it is. John Crowder's back out. In 4 laps to go.
We do have a slow car circulating the bottom of the speedway. We're going to try to keep green as he slowly regains some speed. Alex Bright, Adam Pearson at the front of the field, and that's going to be big on the Crowder car.
There's a Crowder car off the pace, and then there's a 30X off the pace. Somebody's hand grenaded that one. That's Eddie Moss Jr. And he's put fluid down all around the racetrack between turns 3 and 4. Wow.
The good news is in these 600cc and 1,000 engines, there's not 10 quarts of oil like there is in a dry sump 410 sprint car, but nonetheless, a couple of quarts of oil, probably some coolant or water out there as well, but he did get it wound up, but it did create a heck of a smoke cloud down the front stretch, field did a good job of winding itself down quickly and avoiding a situation.